period, but she brings a certain amount of energy that fires me up as well. And so, little correction, I actually have 5 children, not 4, right? But it's a crazy high number for today's day and age. And so, 4 or 5, who can keep up? But trust me, it's hard for me to keep up too sometimes, Beta. But like Beta said, my name is Walter Hughes. I'm coming to you guys from San Francisco, from my living room here. I'm glad that I have an opportunity to share with you guys a little bit tonight about what we do, our passion to go out here and spread this message to the masses. As Beta said, we want to take information that was set aside for Wall Street and bring it down to Main Street, right into your homes, wherever you guys are today. And so, and that's the beautiful thing about, the crazy times that we're in. We are dealing with a crazy scenario, unprecedented times, but we're able to connect via Zoom. I'm in San Francisco, right? I know Crystal's also in the San Francisco. Beta is in the East Bay down that way. So we're all around the San Francisco South Bay, right? There it is. So we're all around, but some of you guys are chiming in from all over the United States. So I just want to welcome you guys here tonight. I'm going to share with you guys my screen and we'll get started here. Hopefully you guys will get some good information. Like Beta said, it changed her life. It also changed my life when I got this information. And so before I get started with the slides, I'm going to share with you guys the most important slide to me. This is me and my family. This is my wife. These are my 5 children. My daughter to the right of me. My oldest son is next to her. And then the middle child, my other son, Titus. I have 1 girl, 4 boys. The youngest is right up front. This was actually a year ago on my son Titus, who's in the middle, his birthday. And so we haven't taken a whole lot of pictures during the pandemic. So I had to use this old one, right? But these are the reasons why I went out seeking and searching this information. I was working San Francisco, California in the financial district and had a job, like Beta said, working in the legal industry. I had a sales job in the legal industry. So I sold services to law firms, lit support managers, legal secretaries, paralegals. But walking around the financial district every day, you see big financial institutions, right? And I'm like, I'm working hard. My family is growing. I'm like, what do I do with my family's money? So, I walked into these big financial firms, hey, what do I do? I was in an entry-level position, a customer service rep. I wasn't even a sales rep yet. And so I had a really nice business card, but I didn't have a really nice salary, right? And so when I came in and handed my business card to a guy, he looks at me, he goes, okay, Walter, fill out this application. And before he could turn around and hit his desk, I had already filled out the application, because there wasn't much to fill out. I didn't have assets. I didn't have a portfolio, right? So before he could just desk, I said, Mr. Financial Professional, here's the application. And he looks at me, he goes, well, he flips through it really quickly. He sees what I have. He goes, Walter, look, son, you make X amount of dollars a year, right? It costs Y amount of dollars a year to live in the Bay Area. That leaves you with about $5,000. It doesn't make sense for me to charge you $1,000 to tell you what to do with that other $4,000. And I was like, really? And I remember I'm 6 foot tall. You probably can't tell while I'm sitting down. But when I walked out of that man's office, I was about 5'8", because every step I just shrunk a little bit, right? He didn't give me any hope. He didn't empower me with information. But luckily for me, my fear of missing out on the right opportunity for my family was bigger than my ego. So I kept looking. I kept searching. And luckily for me, somebody introduced me to an agent at this company that sat down and empowered me with this information and walked me through it. So tonight I'm going to share with you just that, what it was that they shared with me, what pathways that they walked me through. And hopefully, like I said, you guys can learn something along the way. There is the chat box down below that Beta alluded to earlier. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in the chat. So we're going to jump right in. There are 3 things that I want you to think about as we share this information with you guys tonight. 1, do you know somebody who could benefit from this message? Think about that. We're going to share with you guys some concepts, some principles of financials, personal financials, strategies and principles and concepts. Not only should you think about, but think about other people, because we need to pass this message on. So who do you know that could benefit from these concepts? Second question is, can this information help you and your family and your friends financially? Can it help your community? And if it can, then there may be something there for you to look into. And the third question, Crystal's going to talk. I'm going to talk to you about what it is that we do to educate the community when it comes to personal finances. Crystal's going to talk to you about the opportunity that we provide for people to partner with us in this industry. So the third question is, are you intrigued by this business? And notice the wording. It's asked you if you're intrigued. Not if you're all in, right? Not if you're gung-ho, just if you're intrigued. So think about these questions as we go through this information. So first, we want to talk about, who we are. We are World Financial Group, WFG, and we are a Transamerica company. For me, I'm extremely proud of that because, again, that's not from my particular house, but from my neighborhood, right? That Transamerica building is just a beautiful building to highlight the cityscape of San Francisco. But born and raised in San Francisco, I didn't know that they were in the financial services, right? They've been in the financial services since 1906. They've been around for a long time. The mother company of Transamerica is Aegon, and they're based in the Netherlands, and they're doing business worldwide. They operate in all over the globe, in Asia and Europe, here in the Americas, under the brand of Transamerica. And I heard this a few years back from a Transamerica rep. He said, if you took Facebook and Google and you added them together, Aegon, the mother company, was larger than both of those. Right? I don't know if that's still true with the pandemic and everything growing, but that just gives you an idea of how large this company is and the backing of it. But the beautiful part about it is what separated the agent that I sat down with from the agent that I walked into their office that couldn't serve me is they're not working for Transamerica. So as an agent here, I'm not working for Transamerica. We work with them. We're the broker dealer brand underneath Transamerica. So what does that mean? We broker deals for over 185 companies. So we sit down, and that's why the agent that educated me, he had no pressure because there's no quotas. So he can literally sit down and empower me with information, educate me. Him or her can sit down and give you principles and put your family's needs above a corporate entity's needs, right? And so some of those companies that we represent, you may recognize some of them, Nationwide is on your side. My kids love to sing that jingle, right? It's really catchy. And so we represent them, Pacific Life, the Big Whale, Voya, Prudential, The Rock. Of course, we offer Transamerica products, right? But the beautiful thing is, we sit down and find what's right for the individual, for the family, and we put their needs first. And so not only do we have strength and selection when it comes with these different A-rated companies that we represent, we only represent A-rated companies. Each company has different products that they provide. And so we literally educate people about fixed annuities. I had no idea what an annuity was until somebody sat down and educated me. It's a self-funded cell phone pension is how they described it to me. And then they gave me more details behind it. I was like, oh my God, I need these in my life, right? I need predictability. Life insurance. You see my family, I have 5 kids. At the time, I had 3, I think, and 1 on the way or somewhere along that line when I joined this business. But point being that I didn't know the importance of life insurance. I thought life insurance was just death insurance, right? But they educated me. They empowered me. They taught me about newer products that were out there like Index Universal Life. They taught me about long-term care. So this is the message that we take to the masses. Literally empowering you and imparting on you information. There's 3 things I say we love to do for families: educate them, to empower them, to give them more options. That's it. We just want to offer more options for your family's financial future, and much, much more we offer. So really quickly, our motto here is no family left behind when it comes to the personal financial situations. And we found that there's basically 2 types of families right now in this country. There's middle-class Americans. And how does that family look? Family A, they typically earn $100K or less household. They have jobs. If they're putting money away, it's a company-sponsored 401k type plan. If they have life insurance, it's a temporary product. They typically rent their homes. They put their money in the bank because then nobody's telling them where to put it. They live with credit card debt. They have minimal tax advantages, and they have no advisor and no plan. The sad part is this is the majority of the population. Ladies and gentlemen, this was me when I went looking for this information, right? This is where I was at. I didn't know what to do with my money. I was, swimming in debt, didn't have any life insurance. I had no tax advantages and things of that nature. But we want to help everybody to maturate from that side to family B. Well, what does family B look like, right? The first thing that stood out to me when I saw this, if you notice the family and family B, look at the wife, the woman. She's leaning over, talking to the husband, right? Over here, family A, they're so overwhelmed, so overworked, right? They're stressed out. They can't even communicate, but they communicate first. And what else separates them? They make $250,000 and above household. They're typically business owners. They understand the value of owning business. They understand and own permanent life insurance, not temporary. They're homeowners. Typically, they have the diversified portfolio. They don't just put money in the bank like I used to do. They live a debt-free lifestyle. They maximize their tax advantages, and they typically have multiple financial professionals helping them out. The sad part, again, is this is a small percentage of the population. So what do we want to do? Again, educate people to empower individuals that they may have the opportunity to go from family A to family B. If you are a family B, we have things that we can do to educate you, to help you, right? We want to help you to either retire 5 to 7 years sooner or with more money. Or how about both, right? And I sit down with them and I help them, I get paid twice. If I earn a commission, that's the icing on the cake. Just to be able to impart this information to them pays me more than enough, right? And I love that the mission, we don't want any family left behind. When it comes to personal finances, ladies and gentlemen, most people don't plan to fail. They really don't. They just fail to plan. Now, we've all heard that statement, but it is so true when it comes to our personal finances. And this is something that we don't want to have happen to our families, our friends, and our community. So again, if you know anybody who could use some of this information as we share it, think about those individuals. And so I'm going to share with you 4 cornerstones of building your financial house properly. You got to build it on a foundation of protection. Properly protect yourself, your family, your wealth, your assets into the future, right? We also want to make sure that you can grow your money, right? You have to be able to grow your assets in order to build this financial house. Number 3 is you have to build it with safety in mind. You have to be able to protect it as well, right? Give a proper strategy to approach that, and then have the tax advantages and strategies when it comes to the taxation on your money. So these are the 4 pillars that I'm going to be able to share with you guys for the next few minutes. Hopefully you guys learned something new. Get ready to take good notes. I'm slowing down so you can get your pen, get your paper, get your popcorn, because we're going to dive right in, right? So I'm going to start with number 1, proper protection. What do? We build it on a solid foundation of protection. And if you can look up top here, it talks about the certain types of protections that you want to have. Disability protection. What does it matter if I have a good income, but I become disabled and I can't go earn that income anymore? So I have to protect myself and my wealth by making sure I have proper disability insurance, long-term care. Again, we touched on this earlier. This is the silent killer to our retirements right now as Americans. It really is. So many people are not properly prepared for long-term care. What is long-term care? To me, I look at going to the hospital as short-term care. You get bandaged up, stitched up, ice pack, cast up, and they send you home, right? I'll tell you guys a quick little story. My wife, when we had our 5th child, she got her tubes tied after that, and they tried to talk us out of it. My wife is young and she looks even younger. So they're like, oh, you're young. You got a long life ahead of you. Why would you want to do that? And we said, this is our 5th child. They said, no problem. We got you, right? They went ahead and they set her up to where we can't have children anymore. But she gave birth to that last child, our son Emil, who just turned 6. And then they tied her tubes, or I think clipped them actually. And then they sent us home the next day. And I remember leaving the hospital thinking they must think we're really pros at this, because they're like, we're out of here really quickly. The hospital, that's what they're designed to do. Get you in, get you out. Long-term care is, what if you need a nurse to come home with you? What if you need to go into a nursing home? Your medical insurance does not cover that. And most people don't know that. And so we make sure that this is part of our planning and our retirement planning, because we're living longer, but it doesn't mean our quality of life is there, right? And if any of you had to be a caretaker for your family, or they had to go into these services, you know how crazy expensive this can be. And so we don't take that for granted. We want to build with that protection there. Retirement, we want to protect your retirement income. Absolutely. And then your life. I ask my clients all the time, what's your family's, number one assets? It's your life. So we want to properly protect that. And now these new forms of life insurance, they have evolved and transformed into these newer products. It's no longer death benefits. There's living benefits created right in there. They have disability coverage. They have long-term care. There's supplemental retirement income that can help protect your retirement income as well. There's a cash account that can cover education expenses for your children, and they don't have to claim it on FAFSA application. Look it up for yourself. Google it, right? But all this powerful stuff that we educate people, it can pay for final expenses. Life insurance should do that. We should not have family members and friends in our community that have to have GoFundMe accounts, right? Actually, I just got word last night that I lost a friend. I was right before this call. I didn't really feel like getting on because it was such a burden. His son plays basketball with my kids, and tragically, a young man. He was a football coach in the community. And so after I get off here, I'm going to go meet with his family and friends just to kind of console them. And I don't know, that's the crazy part. I hope he had proper life insurance, but it's my burden to make sure that everybody in my reach, everybody in my community, at least have these basic principles. Now, our job is that no family is left behind with the information, that they have accessibility to it. And so we want to make sure that everybody has access to that you could create an inheritance for your heirs as well with these products. It could pay for federal and state estate taxes, and it creates a source of savings for you. Also, I have some clients that say, well, Walter, I have no heirs. I don't have 5 kids like you. Well, you could purchase and have and own the plan to take advantage of the living benefits, and the death benefit could be a contribution to your local, nonprofit or church or whatever it may be. A lot of people utilize that as well. So when it comes to life insurance, there's 2 types in this country. There's temporary and permanent. So we educate people. Temporary, there is no cash savings involved, no source of savings there. In the permanent, there's a cash value as well, right? And so these are the educations. People taught me this, and it blew my mind. I knew nothing about it 9 years ago. Now I own a ton of it because of the value of it, right? What else do we want to do? After that foundation of protection, we want to make sure that we can grow our money. And so how do we grow our money? Well, if you don't know about the power of compound interest, I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of that. This is called the Rule of 72. And the Rule of 72 is a formula that a gentleman that came up with by the name of Albert Einstein. Einstein's pretty smart, right? He sat around, did a lot of thinking. He said, well, how long does it take for my money to double when I invest it? And he actually came up with that formula. I don't know why. I know another formula that he's known for, E = MC squared. I should not know that formula. I should have known the Rule of 72, right? And so what does that look like? The Rule of 72 says, if you know the rate of return your money's growing at, you divide it by 72, it will equal the amount of years it takes for that money to double. So this illustration, we have a 29-year-old with $10,000 and they get 1%. It's kind of like a high yield saving account right now, right? Using the Rule of 72, 72 divided by 1 is 72. It will take that money 72 years to double in that account. So from 29, they would have to wait until they're 101 years old for that money to get to $20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I don't have that much time to wait for my retirement money, right? So we need to use the right financial tool for the right financial job. And that's another part of the education that we teach. You got to have cash to live off of, put it in one of these accounts, right? But what else is out there? Retirement programs. Some of them are about 4% return. Well, how long does it take for your money to double there? 72 divided by 4 is 18. So every 18 years. So now this same individual would have $20,000 at 47 instead of 101. And at 65, they would have $40,000. So 65 is typically retirement age, right? I don't know about you guys, but in the Bay Area, you can't retire off $40,000, right? You can't retire off $40,000 in Bombay, ladies and gentlemen, right? There's not a lot of places on the planet where you can. That's why this principle is so powerful. What if we got 2 percentage points more? 6. We went from 4 to 6, right? What would that have us now? Instead of $40,000, our money would be doubling every 12 years instead of 18. So at 65, instead of 40,000, it doubles to 80,000, just 2 percentage points more. That's the power of compound interest. Now let's look at this. What would 10% get you? That's bare arithmetic, right? That means it's going to double every 7.2 years. At age 65, it'll be $320,000. From 40,000 to 320,000, is that a little difference or a huge difference? I mean, my God, that's a huge difference, right? And we're living a lot longer. What if you let it double again to your 72? You have $640,000. This is why I personally, when I first saw this information, got upset, because I'm like, how come nobody taught me this a long time ago? This is still arithmetic, basic elementary school arithmetic, right? Like, this is not deep and complex. And so Einstein has another quote, or has a quote, when it comes to compound interest. He says, compound interest is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time. It is the 8th wonder of the world. And those who understand it earn it, and those who don't pay it. What do middle-class Americans do? They pay it. All of their debt is growing compound interest, right? So we want to eliminate negative compound interest, replace it with positive compound interest so our family could benefit from that. So moving along, what else do we want to talk about is the options for your money to grow. So there's three basic ways that your money can grow. Fixed accounts, variable accounts, and what we call index accounts. So fixed accounts is here to the left. You can see this is a slow and steady pace, right? Like your high yield saving account, your bank account, right? Variable accounts. Well, if you put money in the open market, money market, stocks, mutual funds, right? We know they ride the wave of the market. Well, what else is out there? I didn't know that they had what was called index accounts. And how does the growth of the money, how does that work? When the market goes up, you ride the wave up. And when the markets drop, you go sideways. You don't lose a nickel. What? And then when the markets go back up, you rebound and go up. The markets drop, you don't lose a nickel. And so I'm a visual learner, right, guys? So I look at this thing and the fixed one, like I said, looks like slow and steady pace never wins the race. The middle variable, to me, that looks like a heart attack, right? Or a seismic activity. And trust me, I live in San Francisco. I'm scared of both of those, right? Actually, seismic activity may lead me to a heart attack, And then index account, these look like stair steps, right, to my financial future. Now, if you had an option to choose, which one would you choose? It's a trick question. You want them all, right? Diversify. But that's what we do. We teach people how to properly diversify, how to properly plan. And so what else is out there? We want to talk about, risk and keeping your money safe. And so when it comes to risk, Warren Buffett is a genius of an investor, right? He has a quote. He said there's 2 rules to investing, just 2, not 20. He said, number 1, never lose money. Number 2, never ever forget about rule number 1, right? And so we love that principle. We build our financial foundations on top of that principle. So imagine this. If somebody has $100, let's say call it 100,000. I like real money, right? You have $100,000 and the market loses 50%. What do you need that market to do to rebound in order to get back to $100,000? Well, most people say, well, you lost 50%. It needs to grow 50% and you break even. That's because we're not taught the principles of personal finances a whole lot. So let's take a look. If the market drops and you lose from 100,000, you lose 50%, you're at 50,000. If you gain 50% of that, where are you at? You're at 75,000. You need the market to double. You need it to do 100,000, 100% growth. I'm sorry, not 100, to get back to 100,000, right? When do markets do that? Like so we like to educate people on how to properly build their financial houses, to learn these principles, right? So that you can take advantage and start applying them to your life. And so one of the last principles we're going to talk about I'm going to share with you is the taxation on your money when it grows. We talked about the ways that it could grow, right? Fixed, variable, and index. There's 3 ways it could grow. There's also 3 ways your money gets taxed when it grows. And ladies and gentlemen, the government designed these categories. Do you think they designed it for our benefit or for their benefit? I can hear you guys through the computer, through the Ethernet, right? Of course, they didn't design it for our benefit, but let's take a look. What are these 3 categories? Tax now, tax later, and what I call tax never, or tax advantage. Never again on the growth you have to pay, right? So think about that. The government designed these categories. So we want to go where they try to get us to go the least, right? And so what do these look like? Tax now or taxable accounts are, your bank accounts, stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, some of them. Every time that you have growth in those accounts, you get taxed every step of the way. Tax now, that year. Think about this. You pay income tax first, right? Most of us pay income tax first, and then you have to pay capital gains tax. It's a double taxation category. The government loves it because they're going to tax the gourd out of us, right? So then they design another tax category. Okay, people, we'll let you grow your money, tax deferred, like most qualified retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, annuities, right? You don't have to pay taxes now, but you have to pay taxes later when it's greater. Right. And so you want to have a tax strategy that works best for you. So if the government's going to tax me later on this harvest of growth, right, I want to make sure that I have something to offset that. So we plan for that in advance, but the government is very strategic on how we have to get in there. So we have to be tricky. You can use Roth IRAs, right? They're a good tool. You might not qualify, though, depending upon your income and things of that nature. But there's also the cash accumulation that's inside life insurance policies that allow you to grow your money tax advantage, as we call it. And so we want to take care of diversifying all angles, the way our money grows, the way our money is taxed, again, so that we can properly retire or hopefully retire 5 to 7 years earlier or with more money. So How do we do that for our clients? It sounds good, Walter, these principles you're talking about, these theories and concepts, right? These formulas, but what do? This is what we do. When we sit down with our clients, we walk you through your personal financial strategy. We believe that every family and situation is unique. There is no cookie cutter approach, but we'll walk you through 6 steps. Those 6 steps, the first one is understanding your cash flow, right? What's coming in and what's going out. The only way to really help your cash flow is 2 things, either earn more or spend less. Right? There's a season in our life. Sometimes we have to do both. Right? We'll look into those opportunities and explore it based on your situation. Number 2, once we know what's coming in and what's going out, hopefully there's something left over, then we can start planning for a proper emergency fund. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, before this shelter in place, before this pandemic, I would tell people the importance of an emergency fund, and sometimes people just kind of chuckle. They'd rather go on 2 vacations, 3 vacations a year than put away for an emergency fund. Well, now the world's on a timeout, right? My kids, when they're in trouble, they get put on timeouts. I feel like the world is on timeout, right? You can't travel anywhere. And now we understand the importance of an emergency fund. Some of you guys are great savers. You don't need to learn this principle, but we need to make sure what is a proper emergency fund. For some of us, it may be 3 months to 6 months of our income. Others, it may be 9 months to 12 months, whatever feels comfortable and whatever works for our situation. The third step is we want to make sure you eliminate all of your personal debt, that you live a debt-free life. You cannot build your family's financial future while you're building somebody else's. And that's what I believe my debt does, right? It builds other people's financial futures, right? Chase it. JP Morgan's children are okay. They don't need my money, right? We're their best return. Where are you going to get 25% return on your money consistently? That's what they get, the banks on our credit cards, right? What's number 4? We want to make sure that we properly protect ourselves, our wealth, our family into the future. Protect yourself against loss of income and protect your family's number 1 asset. So we sit down and we look at what's proper protection for you. Some people may have protection, but we want to make sure it's proper. So we'll look into that for you. And then number 5, then we can start to build wealth, accumulate assets. Our money is going to work hard to get us more money. 2 things we basically want to keep in mind. Can I outpace inflation, which is the cost of living, right? And can I minimize taxation? I always feel like Jesse Jackson every time I say that. I don't know if you guys know who Jesse Jackson is, a former politician, but he always tried to rhyme his words, right? So I want to strive to outpace inflation and minimize taxation, but it's true. And so we want to look into that. And step number 6 is making sure that we properly preserve our wealth, that we have estate planning put in place. So we don't put all this hard work in, we don't earn all this wealth, that it just, it doesn't get preserved properly for the next generations. And so one thing that stood out to me really was one of my childhood, idols growing up was an R&B singer by the name of Prince, right? He loved the color purple, huge following, and if you know him, he passed away a few years back. And I read an article, he didn't have proper estate planning. And so $241 million of his estate had to pay out to the government and to, fees and whatnot. That didn't make sense to me. Now, listen, I don't have assets like Prince, but I'm not done building them yet, right? And so, but I don't want 241 of my children's dollars going to anywhere, right? Except to them. And so this is the importance of putting our financial house in order, building it right. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know, we don't charge a nickel to go through this planning process. If you sit down with any of our agents, they'll never charge you for this. Now, if we find a company that they might charge you for something, a service or whatever, but we're going to find you the right, we won't charge you a nickel to go through this planning process over and over again. I tell people it takes me 2 times or 22 times. I love to sit down and empower people with this information. Hopefully you guys learned something. Maybe it was a reminder for you guys. This is my last slide that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so that the next speaker could come up and share their screen. And I want to thank you for the time. It was a privilege and an honor to share with you tonight. And I have the privilege of introducing our next speaker. This woman, she's young, but she's powerful. She's knowledgeable. She is a beast of a businesswoman. She's an awesome friend, an awesome spouse. The way she works with her husband and how they work up, an awesome parents and an owner, a lover of pets. But I'll let her tell that part of the story to you as well. But it's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to bring up Miss Crystal C. Crystal, are you there?
Yes, Walter, I am here. Every time when I listen to you, I really love the way you talk about, the business, everything. I think it's a lot of information that we really do need to know, and it's like kind of refreshed to me. Remind me when I first started the business, why I started. So, good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to be with every single one online, on a Thursday night. I remember 8 years ago when I first started this business was a Wednesday night. So, you always remember the day you started, or you always will remember the important day. But I can tell you one thing, I don't remember when I was married, but I remember the day I started the business. My name is Crystal, and Walter had 5 kids. I only have one, and she's 18. She just turned 18 this year, and right now she's in college. So 8 years ago when I first started business, the main reason, maybe just like some of you online tonight, you are looking for something, some opportunity to do something different in your life. Or just like me, I was very busy because back then I worked for a Toyota dealership as a female lady manager in there. I have to work long hour, so long it won't believe it. It's just like my wife said, my husband says, you make good income, but kind of like you sell yourself to the dealership, which is true. I have to work 60, 70 hours a week. And, sometimes, I only have one day off. Sometimes I can't even have a day off. So the reason why I was in this business, because I was looking for a business opportunity that I can build my, business, and at the same time, I can spend time with my daughter. Because I think, at this moment, Rita mentioned we're 7, 8 months into, pandemic already. Sometimes when you look back, a lot of things you don't remember, but you will always know that family is the most important, thing in the world to us, right? So since I only have one, I really want to spend a lot of time with her. Back then, she's 10. She's about to get into middle school. And with my crazy working schedule, I really don't have time with her. So maybe some of you parent online right now, you're thinking, oh my God, my kids is at home right now. We really, frustrated. But when it comes to the time that you don't have time with them, you really want to spend more time. So long story short, Walter, go over the whole, pretty much what we really, the reality of, of our finance in the United States. And, here in World Financial Group, our job is really bringing the, Main Street service to the middle classes. Just like us, before I worked for Toyota, I worked for Bank of America for 2 years. I truly understand, when it comes to finance industry, it's really not about how much money you have, or it's really about, can you meet a agent or person that they have the heart, nor they have the quota. They have to sell what they only have, but if they can give you something that's very suitable for you. And that's part of the reason I am with this company. So sometimes, in life, timing is everything, right? The reason why you are online tonight, maybe it's your loved friend, your coworker, or someone that you bump into, invite you to listen to us tonight. I think, if we look back, we are in the right now, 2020, we are in the time that making the history. But if you look back all the way, when you look into 50 years ago, when baby boomer first started, that is something, because that's after World War II, people return home and there's a lot of baby born, right? So that brings a lot of opportunity, and things are changing. Just like right now, the way we do business, traditional business, is no longer the same as 2019, right? So when we look at 1946, when baby boomer was boom, and what industry was extremely baby food, right? The most famous, I remember my daughter, she doesn't like that, the baby food, the Gerber, right? But from 50,000 bottle per month, all the way they expand their business to 5 million bottle per month. How many times is that, right? And toys, right? When we have kids, we want to buy everything in the world for them. And later on, kids need what? Fast food, McDonald's Happy Meal is the best, right? That creates a good, business when it comes to fast food industry. And once when it goes to school, what you need is cars, right? And many house was built, and retirement in the 90s, IRA, 401k, 403b, are, so many retirement become the main thing that we were looking at, right? Till now, if you look at the number, right? Because sometimes people say, oh, Crystal or Walter, we love the information that you share, but I worry about, I have no client. I don't know who I talk to. But let me show you this number. Look at this. We all know baby boomer are retiring right now, baby boomer generation. How many of them? 78 million people born during the post World War II baby boom. It's from 1946 to 1964. They are retiring right now. So what that gives us opportunity. They need someone that with care and heart to really help them plan on their retirement or take care of their retirement. And not just that, when you look at the Generation X and Millennial, we have 112 million people was born between 1965 to 1994, which make up 41% of US population. Those are the people, they are looking for, they're going through that, they
Crystal, I think we have some technical difficulty there.
We'll give her a moment to, am I back on? We'll give her a moment to see if she can reconnect. This is another part of being in this new world that we're in, right?
That's right.
Everybody's at home on their Zoom, so internet is running crazy. I believe she was talking about the baby boomers and the impact of the baby boomers, right, that they have on business in the world. But let me see. Oh, her slides just jumped off as well.
I think, it is internet. We cannot rely on it, but it's happening. I think she got disconnected and...
let's give her a few minutes, but if not...
let's give her... I believe that everybody is enjoying. This is so much information that you're learning. I'm positive that what Walter shared, it was when first time I learned about those information, I was like, wow. There's so much that I don't know. So I'm sure that you guys also. Oh, here we go. She's back. So I'm sure that you learned a lot. Crystal, you're back.
We'll give her a chance to log back in and get back going. What we'll do right now, somebody asked a question in the first part of it. I'll answer that question while we have a break, and we'll let Crystal get back going. And so the question was, what were the challenges you faced when you just got involved in the business, and how did you overcome them, become successful like today? I think a lot of those challenges for me in the beginning was just learning these principles and applying them to my life personally. It was hard for me to believe in products, plans, and accounts that I didn't own, right? And then so when I learned about them and how they work for me specifically, then I felt like I could go out and talk to people about them. Even once I learned, even if it didn't apply to me, I understood about it. Like, oh, this works. It's not in this season of my life, but I could put it aside. So that really helped me in the beginning to get educated for myself, to get empowered, so then I can go and do the same for others. And I think Crystal is back. Let me see.
Thank you, Walter. You saved my life. I think the first thing I need a better internet. But we just upgraded because of pandemic. But still, right now, because everybody is at home. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm back. Okay. Right. So I think one thing, I was sharing that how I joined this business because I was with a busy schedule. I need the income from my job, but really hard for me to just, drop everything and jump into something new, right? So part of the reason I become part of us because I can do this at part-time. And when you look at this number, right, because many of you, like Walter just answered one of the questions, the challenges, right? One of the challenges people worry about, we don't have clients, we don't have, people to talk to. But when you look at this number, the state of industry, nearly half of the existing, financial advisor are all over the age of 55. Nothing wrong about that, but just one thing telling you, if we have a lot of financial advisor currently at the age of 55, tells you one thing, they're about to retire, right? That gives a big shortfall for financial advisors in our industry. Another thing, people always worry about, oh, this is something new to me. Is there quotas? What about the time? I have so many things on my plate already. But let me share with you the unique business platform that what we have. Number one, I love the most is if you have a finance, background, that will be a bonus. But if you just like me, when I first started, you don't have any background, that's fine. Because you know why? We have all the trainings, the classes, one-on-one, big events, or the product provider, they have endless training that you needed it for you to become a financial professional in this industry. And another most important element for many of us is we can test drive before we start. What do you mean by test drive? You can try it part-time. Sometimes it's not even part-time. You can try it sometime or whenever you have time. I remember I have a lady, she's a full-time mom, but her kids is about, it's almost getting to college, and she's worried about she needs to come back, find a job, but she really don't have the time to study the license. What she does is she study everything after the kids, go to bed. So this is something that it's very flexible. You can control your own time, and no time clock. You don't need to clock in, clock out. No, you clock in to clock out. It's a job, but we are, a business, right? And as a female, I can tell you in this industry, I love is we don't have ceilings. Earning potential, sky is the limit. And leadership development and mentorship business model, we have endless classes like that can help you become a different you. And sometimes, we don't know how good we are until we really in that place. And that's my experience. And we focus on help you strengths. Focus on your strength, and we help you. Sometimes we like Walter. He's a very friendly person, right? And you don't even need to be a salesperson, but you just need to be yourself. You have the caring heart. That's already good enough, right? And the power of choice. Walter mentioned we have over 100 different product provider you can pick and choose from. So you're not limited to only sell that to one particular company, or that's the only product we have. No. We really dedicated to, serve client what they need and provide what's suitable for them, because we have the choice. And business expansion because of pandemic, and our license. I'm located in San Francisco, right? Same like Walter. Our license is in California, but believe it or not, my business it expanded more than 10 different states in the United States, because our company. World Financial give us the platform that you can expand your business whole United States and Canada. That's the power of it. How to do it? We can show you how to do it, right? You just need to get one license in your resident state, and then the rest simple. The WFG system, business system, we have a proven system that works, and we simply just come in with a business model. It's kind of like a franchise, right? People like to buy franchise because they have the system already. Same thing in the finance industry. We are the company that we have the system. All you need to do is just come in, plug in, and you're ready to go. And equal opportunity for all. You can see that we come from different races. We have, doesn't matter I'm a female or male. It's very simple. The sky's the limit for you to grow. And our field force, you can see, right? And our main goal, that's what I love the most, is because previous banking in this experience, I really understand, there's a group of people that it's underserved, which is what the middle class. That we are the people that we pay, we go to work, we make money, we pay tax, we get no tax advantage because we get W-2, but we don't have a lots of, information or helps from the government or nor from the, banking that help us grow our money better. So this is what's our focus in here. We have, and if you think that you want to give your family financial a checkup, we can give you a free checkup, like annual checkup for your body check. But when it's last time you do a checkup on your wallet, on your banking account, right? So and we mentioned that we have a lots of different companies, events, stuff like that. So Not next, I'm gonna get into the most of you that I'm very interested or you wanted to know about compensation. People say, okay, great. I already know this is business. Maybe I can give it a try whenever I have time. But how do I make money? We can give you an example. You can make money by several different ways. First thing is you can make money by your personal income. Just basically you come in, you pass the background check, and then you get your license and you got your trainings and you're ready to go. And you can make money on your own hand based on, the client you serve, you get paid. That's one way we can make money. And the second way is agency income. Once when you've been in the business for a little bit longer, you're more experienced, you have more knowledge what to do, then you can expand you can expand your business, and then you can make become an agency that you can make money out of it. And let me give you an example, very simple. Sometimes people say, oh, do I need to help people save millions of dollars to get income? Not really, because remember we mentioned our goal is serve the middle class, right? The middle class, we don't have the 100,000 or 200,000 laying in there for us to help you invest. But what we can do is we can come out couple hundred, maybe $100 or $200 a month. Let me give you an example. Say, what if we can help a family save $200 a month. Say today I have a 40 years old client that we can help them put away $200 for their future. What's that going to come out for you? So as a associate, if you're able to help, for family save $200 a month, look at the number. As a part-time base, as associate, you can make $4,320 on a part-time base, or even we can call sometime base, right? Because what we understand part-time is what? Part-time is 20 to 30 hours a week. But here you are not obligated to really work 20, 30 hours a week. You're not committed. You can do this on your day off, on your after you get off work. Or once when you get into senior marketing director level, you help the same family save $200 a month, but your income's gonna go up because once when you become more experienced, your country level go up. So you can make $7,680, right? You see that number? Just help 4 families save $200. Now we're gonna just think $200 a month. That's what? Less than a cup of coffee a day. Do you think that you have people, you have friends and families or people that they can save, a cup of coffee a day? But don't underestimate the power of that cup of coffee a day, because in the long run, that can give them a very good protection for the family, or pretty good when it comes to retirement. And we talk about, if you become experienced, you have an agency. Say if you come in and then you have within your team or different state, maybe you have a cousin in different state that they want to get licensed, they want to be part of us as a part-time as well. Say if you have a team of 5 and every single one of us just help 4 people a month with $200 a month, that income comes out to what? $200,000 a year. That's with your personal income plus your agency income. Who's going to say no with a part-time income, $200,000 a year, right? And I know some of you say, really, can you do part-time? Yes, you could. Compensation. And, once when your business are not just you have personal and agency income, but right now, I'm very proud to share with you guys, because of pandemic, because of Zoom, forget about the internet issue sometimes, but we are able to build a business different state. Just because the technology, right? Same thing in our business. Once when you expand your business in different state, of course, your income expand as well. And bonus, once when you get into certain senior marketing director level, you are open the door for our company bonus pool. That's another great way of earning as well. And if you help your client write a reoccurring income is it could be very, very big check. Today my assistant, because she was doing, health insurance for her last year. And she just tell me that just by doing health insurance on the side, she makes several $1,000s. That's just a bonus, right? We help our client, but at the same time, you get paid. So you look at, this is one of the example that we have, but I can proudly tell you that we already have SMD to break that level. If you become senior marketing director level, an average in our company, a part-time base, you can make around $70,000. The highest right now, the record is $1 million. And if you keep going up, when you look at the crazy number, yes, it's 10 million. It's not 1 million. It's 10 million. If you reach the executive level, we have, people in the company, they make more than $10 million a year. Of course, taken decades to build a business, but that's the real number we have here. And I love about our company, we don't just, we're not a company only talk about, money. And we don't just recognize just by yourself. Every year our company gives you not just opportunity, you can make money, make part-time income, but at the same time, we have other ways that company recognize us as well. And when you look at those pictures, right, those are all the leaders in the company that they make great achievements. But besides that, when you look at this on the left hand side, when you feel good, you do good, right? How do you feel good? Besides you getting the big paychecks, we have rings and watches. I remember when I first achieved my 100,000, when I got the ring. That ring it's very, very nice. And when I look at that ring, oh, that feels good, right? And every year we have our annual convention that it's a celebration for, all the leaders, all the agents who work hard. We give you plaques and trophies, right? That's nice looking, right? And not just that. One thing I love about it's the networking, that you get to work with all those brilliant leaders, smart people, and it feels great to hang out with people that's smarter than you. You trust me, because you can learn a lot, right? And not just that, we have trips every year, but this year is a little bit different, right? But every year we go to Hawaii as an annual trip. That's how company reward our hard work. Every year, our company tradition is either February or March, we go to Hawaii. We rotate every island every year just to relax. Nothing about business, but we give you 1 week away to the paradise to relax, right? That's one thing that company reward us. And there was time that if you do very well, that your picture and your name's gonna be on the Forbes magazine. That's the reward we have in this company. Making money is great, but making money at the same time, helping people, helping your family, helping the people you love and you care to achieve their financial goal, their financial dream, to make sure they have better retirement, more sustainable, retirement income. That's something that really make us feel better, right? So I think, Walter and I, we give you the two different section about, this company, right? But next, I want to show you this. The next step is what? Walter asked you 3 questions, right? So now I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Number 1 question, who do you know who could benefit from our message? Doesn't matter about, they're going to be partner or they want to be a client, but just the message Walter shared with you, the 6 financial cornerstone, right? When you look at, maybe you have a cousin who really, work hard, but they're not very good at manage their money. Maybe you can invite them for the next seminar to listen and learn, right? Or could this information help you or your family financially? This is my 8th year in the business. I can tell you the answer definitely is a yes, but the answer is, do you think this can, benefit you and your family, right? And are you intrigued by the business? Maybe you say, hey, Crystal, just, doing, on sometimes it works. Maybe I cannot commit myself 30 hours a week, but I can start with 10 hours a week. How about that? Yes, this is a place that really we don't have, time clock in and clock out, right? And if you feel like I love the information, I really think I need to have annual checkup for my family financial planning. So you can set an appointment with the person who invited you today, get a complimentary financial needs analyze. It's all free. Walter mentioned we gave you this because we are here to help you, right? And or you say, hey, I like the information, Crystal, you mentioned, and the just helping my friends save $200 a month, one coffee a day. I think it's doable. Hey, maybe you love your current job, but it's never bad to have an extra $500, $1,000, even $2,000 a month, right? Because I remember when I first started, what got me in the business just by helping, a one or two client a month, I can make maybe $1,000 a month extra. Hey, add up $1,000. I can put my daughter in the pretty good after school program, or I can buy her something, that she wanted it. Those are the money that we don't have, but it's extra, right? So this is something that we want to ask you, and you want to take some time and think about it. If you wanted to have a free financial analyze checkup, or you want to get to know more about the business, right? So, part-time, we can do it part-time or full-time. It really doesn't matter. I started part-time and very fast I became full-time because I love this opportunity, right? So next, our family slogan is helping family rise, right? I'm gonna bring up my dear friend that Mr. CK, ever since I started, I remember I get to know him with one business trip, and he gave me very, very good advice. Ever since then, we become good friends. And knowing him, he is a very successful entrepreneur in this finance industry. I think he's the most, how do I say it? He's a good husband. That's what I can say. Okay. There's a lot of way to, but I don't think my husband will like me to, come to my other men, but he is a very good person I know. And then a father, a son, and not important, he is a good business person, and he have lots of good experience, and he can give us some, golden nuggets about his experience with our company that may help you make up your mind tonight. So can we all put our hand together? Welcome, CK. CK.
Thank you, Crystal. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Let's give a big round of applause to Crystal and Walter as well. I think you guys did an awesome job. Walter, when you share about those concepts, right, it just gives me a flashback about 16 years ago. I'm forever grateful to the person who brought me to the office and then showed these presentations to me. Fast forward 16 years just go by like that, right? And 16 years ago, I remember I was heavily in debt, in credit card debt, because I just paid off my sister's medical school and we were about to have our first child. So the future was very uncertain. So I am sure a lot of our guests here felt the same way, right? So let me ask you a question, all our honorable guests. First of all, I'd like to appreciate all your time spending with us in this precious moment. I would like to ask you a question, right? What if money and time is not an issue anymore for you, right? What would you be rather doing? So this was one of the questions that got asked to me 16 years ago. And all of a sudden, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. So when I learned about those concepts, I quickly protect our family, right? We are living in a crazy time. This year has been crazy, isn't it, right? We just got a text that we just lost a great leader's wife, right, from cancer. And with this current COVID situation, there are a lot of unpredictable things that is happening now, right? Over 250,000 people pass away and millions got affected, right? What if you become uninsurable now? What if I become uninsurable now? What if anything were to happen to me, right? Will I have proper protections to protect myself and my family? Or would I be sent towards financial disaster because I did not have the proper protection in place? How about, do I have enough saving in place? If let's say I got furloughed from my job, or maybe I got sick that I have to pay those huge expensive copay and I can't go back to work, right? What am I going to do, right? So I was totally grateful, forever grateful 16 years ago when this concept was being shown to us, and we quickly started to plan for our future and also the opportunities. Because of these opportunities that allow me to start part-time, so I can keep my full-time start part-time and still be able to spend a lot of time with our family, with our kids. So this career, this part-time career eventually become a full-time career and totally help us to become financially free by the time we turn 40 years old, right? So I joined the company when I was 28 and was in credit card debt. And in 12 years, we become financially free. And our kids' college planning, college saving, everything is set. Our retirement is set. So where can you find an opportunity out there, right? That you can become financial secure and financial independence when you wanted to make that decision. And we will have the support and we will have all the mentorship to help you and guide you along the way, right? So because of the opportunity, like what happened this year during pandemic, right? We don't have to be out there, right? I felt sorry for all our frontline leaders and all the nurses, all the medical field folks, right? But we have a choice, right? At least we have a choice. We can just stay home, turn on our computer, and we still be able to run our business and income continue to come, right? And at the same time, all our kids, we have 3 kids, they're all on virtual this year. So because of the business, of the opportunity, we get to stay home. Me and my wife, we get to stay home and we are in no rush to go to work. We are in no rush to time in, clock in, clock out. We can spend time with them and then help them with their schoolworks. It's just unbelievable. 16 years ago, when we joined this platform and when we become clients of this company, I never would have thought that 16 years later that we would have a pandemic like this, that we all get stuck at home and the whole world is upside down. Financial world, health world, everything is upside down. But I thank God every single day because of somebody introduced this opportunity, introduced this concept to us and totally changed our life. And from us out, we also change and impact thousands and thousands of families' life, right? So some people, wanted to prioritize, wanted to make more money on this platform, and others, they wanted to become financially free. And some like to do both, like myself, right? So what's best fit for you? Sit down with the person who invites you and make sure you have a serious conversation immediately, right? So I'm really excited. I appreciate all of you for getting on, and I'm going to turn the call back to Beta.
Thank you so much. Please, everybody, give a big virtual round of applause for our panel speaker because they did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Thank you. Every time I hear it, it just brings that fire back again. If time allows, we can answer a couple of questions. So if I may, if it's okay with the panelists, can I have a couple of questions? So this question, Anne, Bill, Hua, Mariko, Rod, and Young, you guys all asked the same question in different way. If Walter, you can answer. They're asking that, I have a full-time job and I need to know if I can do this part-time because I have a full-time job. Can you, Walter, please answer that question?
Oh, yes, 100%. When I first got going in this business, like I said, I think I had 3 children and one on the way. I can't recall. 9 years ago, one is 9, one turned 6. Yeah. So we were 3 going on 4, and then one just turned. Then we just had one. So I say that to say I was extremely busy. I have my 9 to 5. I had the family. I have, I'm devoted and committed to church, and I sit on the board of nonprofit organizations here in San Francisco. So I'm spread thin completely. And I was able to come on board. The beautiful thing, I think Crystal touched on, like there's no clock, right? The only clock is the clock that we have in our heads. I believe this, for those of you guys that asked a question, I learned this in life. If you want something done, give it to a busy person, right? And so those people that ask, you're going to be the ones that get it done, So absolutely you can get it done. If I could do it with all those time restraints and commitments, anybody can do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate it. So for the next group, this is for you guys, Hong, Yosh, Sunny, and again, and Tom. They're asking, so we like, if we wanted to start, what type of licenses do we need to get or how we should start? If Crystal, please, if you could take that.
Great. That's a awesome, wonderful question because the first thing when I first started is what do I need to do to get started, right? License, because we are in a professional industry, it does require license. And when you first started, you just get very simple license. You can just get on your state, whichever state you are located. In California, we just get the state of California, we get the life and health, license. And as your business grow, you can, once when you get the license in that state, you can become a non-resident, agents in multiple states in United States. Very simple. You just pass your license once and you're able to use your license in multiple states as long as you get appointed with different state. That's what I love about this business. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh my God, the question is keep coming. CK, if I could have this question, this is from Devonte. He's asking that how long it takes for someone to gain that financial freedom? If you can take that one. That's from Devonte.
Okay, great questions. If you want overnight, buy a lottery, right? No, I'm just kidding. Buying a lottery is not a solution, right? It depends on your desire. If you have a strong desire and you're willing to work hard and follow the system, right? And be disciplined with your money, I think in 10 years time, short 10 years time, you can accomplish all your dreams here. Right. But of course, you gotta be willing to put the price in, right? You gotta be willing to sacrifice some TV time, right? Maybe you gotta be willing to sacrifice some of your buddy drinking time, right? And then make some commitment, and then don't think too much. Sometimes in life, we are information overload and we think too much. I think it's more about just go do it. Have your desire and look at your dreams and go every single day and work with a trainer, because we will have trainers guide you every step of the way. And financial independence is not a dream. It's just a decision that you have to make, and it's just around the corner.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. We are kind of stretching a little bit of the time. I can see there are questions are coming. Keep left and right is keep coming. And Kit, you had a great question, but we need hour to answer that question. Maybe you can ask that question from the person who invited you. It's a great question. But with that said, you can see not next week. Next week is Thanksgiving, but the week after on December, I believe it's December 2nd. You can see that this is the December 3rd. So we're going to have another group of panelists. They're amazing individuals. They're going to come and share. So if you find that, the information tonight was very valuable to you and you want to share it, you have that opportunity to share those information with your friends and family. Just invite them. So the QR code is here. The link is also on a chat box. So you can copy the link, and we're going to have different panelists who's going to talk and share about this opportunity. With that said, thank you so much for being an amazing audience, and I believe that your hour was well spent and you enjoyed the learning. I wanted to give one more time thanks to Walter, Crystal, and CK for your time and for your sharing. You're always great, and it's absolutely an honor to work alongside with you guys. And with that, we wish everybody a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family, and we hope that see you in the business. Come and learn or earn or together. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.